I've been a Raiders fan for my whole life, 19 years, and I did not like what I saw last night. I saw a Raiders team that saw what we did last week against the Jaguars, and we said, we're not going to do any of that again. We're going to throw it. We're going to get 3 targets to Brock Bowers, which I don't know how that number is not in the double digits at least. And I'm starting to not believe in Pete Carroll. I bought in to what he was saying. He had the resume to back it up, but the performance that's been on the field has not given me great confidence in the Raiders.
Well, I think the issue is, again, Ben, it's a quarterback-driven league, and it's a team effort as well. There was a brutal moment last night where Geno took a sack, and you could see he was barking at Raheem Mostert, who totally whiffed on the pass protection, and it didn't look good for Geno. The interception that Geno threw to give him now 12 on the season, that is the most in the National Football League, and you go online and you see on Threads, at least I did, that Hayes now leads the league in interceptions. The ball went right off Ashton Genty's hands. That's not on Geno's ledger either. That said, it's clear that the plan coming in to calm the waters of who's the quarterback here, and they didn't go and get one in the draft. They didn't go and get Jackson Dart because it was too high maybe to take him, or they didn't come back into the first round to get Jackson Dart if that's who they wanted. And there was a lot of rumors about Shador, who still hasn't started a game yet, and the Browns keep on sinking, and it looks like they're still not going to him. That eventually, at the end of the day, the Geno Smith acquisition that seemed smart and seemed like you now have a veteran hand here that's not going to turn the ball over, that's going to play the game exactly the way that Pete wants it, since he did so for Pete in Seattle as a comeback player of the year. That guy hasn't shown up, Ben. And at the end of the day, it didn't help that Brock Bowers was out between weeks 2 and 9. And it did not help that defensively there's not much else there, at least weeks 1 through 9 until week 10 showed up to help Max Crosby. And it still is, in my estimation, I am biased when it comes to Pete. I love the guy, and he hasn't forgotten how to coach or motivate. Last night, I saw a team that hadn't backed up a U-Haul at all. I didn't see it. As a matter of fact, they balled out. And at the end of the day, they just could not protect Geno Smith. And that's something that any team is going to look like garbage if you can't protect a quarterback who also has trouble protecting the football himself. So
the one problem I have with that, Rich, is that we have 2 rookies that we took in the 3rd round to be offensive linemen, and we're putting in Alex Kappa, who he's the reason Geno was getting hit because the inside of the line was not protecting Geno. And then we have Charles Grant, and we have someone else who I can't remember, but we have rookies. So if we're down on talent, why not we at least put some rookies in and see what they got?
Because they're not ready, and you don't want to get Geno hurt, Ben. And he did wind up, and thank you for the call. Call back, please. He did wind up getting hurt. And there was also a moment where Zach Allen took him down late, and took him down not only late, but slid right down his legs and tackled him by his shins, and it wasn't called. And pretty much every other penalty under the sun was being called last night.
That one looked bad.
We saw a ton of Bill Vinovich, but that's not the one that got him hurt.
No.
It was the one where he was escaping the pocket, and it looked like, I thought Cooper was just like, I thought he maybe had the wind knocked out of him because he landed on the football. But he goes in the blue tent, comes back out, and Pete was asked why he went back to Geno when it was clear that he was not healthy.
He wanted to go back in a worse way. He wanted to finish the game for his teammates. And he got whacked in the quad. He got a quad bruise or something, contusion, whatever it is. He got smacked, and that's just him fighting. And, go back out. You know what I mean? Who knows? And it's not because he can't. It has nothing to do with that. It's just about just competing in battle. He had a couple plays, and then he would not have been able to answer the next time out. He wasn't going back, but he tried.
And at the end of the day, the Raiders now sitting here at 2-7. I think it's apparent the quarterback of the future is not on the roster. And who is that guy? Great question. And that 2-7 at the end of the day, smart plan I thought it was to acquire Geno. It just hasn't worked out, man. And you also don't have the receiving core that's to the fore, right? Whatever was going on with Jacoby Myers, they felt that he had to go. They weren't going to pay him long term.
He's been asking.
Right, I know that.
For months.
I mean, Trey Tucker's had a couple of good games.
Yeah, Dante Thornton didn't break out like he did in the preseason, and people had thought, Brock Bowers only having one catch is unacceptable.
Last night was just weird. Just from the beginning, it was just, like I said, a fever dream. 25 mile an hour winds. Nobody could complete a pass. It just, I don't know.
Yeah, but you see at the beginning of the game, they showed the ref putting the ball on the ground, and you could just see his pant legs just blowing in the breeze.
Well, and then the football had to be replaced multiple times.
Rolled away. Yep.
There's a lot of ifs and buts, but the bottom line is you are what you are, and they're 2-7, and the Raiders are now next up, home for Dallas on a Monday night, home for Cleveland, up the road here against the Chargers, and then another game against Denver before they visit Philly and Houston, home for the Giants, and then Kansas City. These are it could be a top 10 pick again. So they'll have an opportunity to get the next quarterback if there is one in the draft, because I don't think they can run it back with Geno again. It just doesn't, unless you can turn it around. Still a lot of time left here.
Well, nothing fixes your ails like the Cowboys defense.
It could. Clearly, he just loves Geno. Yeah. He loves him and believes in him, and wouldn't even take him out. There was at one point where it looked like Pickett was going back in, and Geno ran out of the blue tent for a second time, limping out there. It looked like Osweiler and Manning in Denver.
It's like,
right? Just, okay, you go back out there again. I saw that. I thought of that moment.
Yeah, me too.
Hey, you made it all the way to the end. Thanks for that. Check us out every single day streaming live on Disney Plus and the ESPN app 12 to 3 Eastern.